Jigging Shadow Rap is a little easier to play with. There's a fish on the Jigging Shadow Rap, first cast. Look at that. Wow. Wow. There's a lot of them down there. Pitching up on a point. Yep. Jigging Raps are fun. The Shadow Rap might be more fun. This works like a charm. What's up, fisher people? Got a lot to accomplish in a short, well, I don't know how short this video is going to be. In my mind it's going to be short, but maybe it won't be short. So I was out here with clients yesterday. Finally had a good Jigging Rap bite with them. So I thought, what a perfect time to try a few things. First of all, this Fox River rod that I've been talking about, the medium light fast. I've had the feeling that it could be not only a really good finesse jigging rod with light jigs, but also a good Jigging Rap rod, because it's not quite as light and whippy as some of my other medium light jigging rods. So I like a medium fast typically with Jigging Raps. The medium light fast, typically the tip gets real flippy, and when you rip it, you end up getting that line twisting around the rod tip. But this one doesn't seem to be quite as whippy, even though it still has a lot of sensitivity and feel for the jigging. So I feel like it could be a really good all-around rod for both snap jigging and finesse jigging. And on top of that, I also got some of the Pissy Fun Carbon X reels. I got the Carbon X in the 1000 size, and then I got their Carbon X 2 here in the 2000 size. Strung it up with a little Power Pro braid like I like to use. And the thing about the 2000 size is it has a little bit different gear ratio, which pulls up more line per turn of the crank, which one of the big things when you're jig rap fishing is the fact that oftentimes fish hit it hard from behind, slack it up, and you got to reel down real fast to get tight on that fish. So if you got a higher gear ratio reel, it can help with that, because every crank pulls up more line and you get tight on the fish quicker. I've been wanting to experiment with that. Pissy Fun wanted me to review some of their reels. Now if you're a big fishing YouTube nut, you've probably watched a lot of Tom Boley videos. Tom Boley uses a lot of Pissy Fun reels, so I've heard good things. I will say right out of the gate, first of all, this looks pretty darn sharp. The reel with the rod combo, the Fox River's already got the gray and the black, and then you got the nice black reel. So from an aesthetic perspective, it looks awesome. It also seems to be, like, the big thing is they always talk about how light their reels are, which I would totally agree. And they talk about how smooth they are, which I'm about to get a feel for. I would have to kind of agree with that. It is a pretty smooth reel. So we got that to accomplish. The other thing is, if I can get a bite on a Jigging Rap, I've been meaning to try out the Jigging Shadow Raps. So if I get a fish or two on the Jigging Rap, I'm gonna try out the Jigging Shadow Raps because I want to see if they catch fish too. Rapala has a regular crankbait called a Shadow Rap, and the Shadow Rap's based on the same model body shape of that, so it has a little slower fall rate than a standard Jigging Rap. That's real smooth. Oh, I think I also have a discount code for these Pissy Fun reels, like BL15 for 15% off or something. I don't know. I'll put it on the screen. So there's that. Pissy Fun reel on the Fox River rod, the medium light fast, which I think could be a great all-around rod for jigging and Jigging Rap, snap jigging, plastics. I've used it for plastics. It's great for plastics already. Jigging Shadow Raps if you can pull it off, and I also got my boat detailed. So the boat's all fancy and shiny. They're in Garrison. So if you're local in Garrison, North Dakota, and you want to get your boat detailed, I'll put some information on the screen. I do have fish on the bottom here. Maybe I'll vertical try it. Try it vertically. Grammar much? So that's a lot of stuff. I like the feel of this for jigging Raps. I think this is gonna work good. I don't think I have a lot of problems with this. I haven't gotten a line twist yet. Let's get some jigging Rap fish, jigging Shadow Rap fish if we can, and then figure out what to do with the Shadow Rap. A lot of them we were getting yesterday was just kind of like, oh, that one rattled it. And doing some kind of smaller pops like this to get them to go. We weren't doing the big rips yet. Well, I wasn't doing it at all. I didn't cast any of them. My clients were. The boys from Wisconsin were back. I did a video with them last year. Yesterday was the first day that the jig Rap bite really started going for us. So Nick was super happy about that. He loves jig rapping. And then John was super happy because he caught a 26-inch tank, which was awesome. I'm seeing fish and I'm not getting bit yet. I'm a little nervous about the jig Rap bite today. Maybe the jigging Shadow Rap would be better. Quick snap magic, jigging Shadow Rap, Fire Tiger, sending it. The one cool thing about the jigging Shadow Raps is they're not as much of an arm buster. I'd say they probably have half as much pull. The jigging Shadow Rap is a little easier to play with. There's a fish on the jigging Shadow Rap, first cast, look at that. The jigging Rap wouldn't take him. The jigging Shadow Rap did. I love it. I love this stuff. I love catching fish, period. Oh, we got off. You bugger. You would think you'd lose fewer of them because they're a little lighter. But there is also no front hook on these things, just the back hook, but the hooks are bigger. Bigger treble, bigger back hook. Also, before I forget, happy Father's Day. Let's turn back to that spot and see if we can pick up another bite, and then I'll probably head out to a different spot. The water clarity is a little dirty. We had some rain the other day. Maybe I should get a little shot of the action of this lure. There's enough clarity to show it. You can see how that thing just kind of dances around from side to side, but falls a little slower. Hopefully that shows up well. The water is a little dirty. It kind of makes a little circle as it's dancing around. It doesn't feel like when you're casting the jigging Raps, there's a very obvious feel to it. You can almost feel that fin vibrating. You get a lot of feedback. I don't feel as much feedback. It definitely has some action down there. It looks good. It looks better than it feels. You can still fish jigging Raps in this dirty water, but I would say the thing about it is you probably got to be a little more precise. You got to get closer to a fish to get it to track. With any bait too. Dirtier water just makes things fish smaller. Like when the bite's really good and they can see things and find things, it's pretty easy. If you can get it anywhere in the vicinity, now you just got to be a little more accurate. You're not gonna get as many bites because it takes time to get that close to fish. It just lowers the window of opportunity is smaller, is basically what it boils down to. It's super rocky that I'm worried about snagging, but it's a possibility. Not having that front hook will help you get out of snags a little bit too with this. Wow. Wow. What is that? Oh, it got off too. That was giant. I kind of suspect it was a snag carp. Ooh, okay. What would be the odds of snagging 2 fish in a row like that? Maybe pretty good, but if there's a lot of them down there. We got to keep this fish on, making big runs. Don't be a carp, okay? It's a drum that bit it. Shoot. He ate. First fish on the jigging Shadow Rap. It's a drum, and he's so feisty. And yeah, we could catch 100 of them on bottom mounts and crawlers today, but that's not the point of this video. It's a little different filming videos sometimes. I try to have an objective. That's one thing I've tried to do more of this year is like, I'm not just gonna go fishing and record it. I want there to be a goal, an objective, a story, a how-to, a tutorial, something. That's what I'm looking for. I think people get more value out of that. Can you hear me? Moving spots. Say your first cast is your best cast. Someone said that. Let's go, baby. Marking them here pretty good. Gosh, we got one. He bit it too. Jigging Shadow Rap walleye. They work. One landed. And one thing to note about this too, like I said earlier, it is a little lighter, so it takes longer to fall, and then it also hovers longer, so it's a better shallow water thing, like especially if you're moving with the boat, casting it. I think it's probably going to be best under 20 feet. If you're going down in 30, 40 feet way late in the season, I would use a regular jigging rap. But for the shallower stuff, so the boat's in 19, pitching up on a point, and finally found some fish that are willing to go. This one feels bigger. This is also a brand new spot. I've never fished this spot before. This is brand new to me. That's always kind of fun. I'll put a waypoint. I don't get a lot of brand new spots on Sakakawea, but sometimes I do. The old stuff just wasn't doing it today, and the wind's pushing into this little shallower bay-ish, flat-ish area, and there's a nice point that sticks out from that shoreline. So I thought, what the heck, we're trying a new lure, let's try a new spot. But yeah, Jigging Shadow Rap walleye. Maybe that's the thumbnail if I can't get a bigger one. I'm working it pretty lightly too. Like I said, since it's not super on, it's not one of those things where you're probably going to catch them by just yanking it a mile every time. So I got a little braid line to undo. There we go. And this could have something to do with the fact that the fish are like flat-ish to the bottom too, so I'm not ripping it way up high. I'm just doing tiny little jumps. Will the Shadow Rap get 3 in a row? I bet we do not get 20 in a row like that other video. That would be... I don't even know that I marked 20 fish here. That would make it difficult, but we're slowly but surely getting this thing figured out anyway. Definitely like to catch a few more. If I don't get one on this cast, I'm gonna try another spot. We gotta find a bigger batch of fish. All right, looking for shallower fish. Boats in 12, pitching shallow. Oh, I was late to the swing there. He pushed that one up, and I was just late. That's where that reel would have come in really handy. Busy yakking my trap. Oh, hit it right under the boat. Big old white bass. I don't know why the boat's angling the way it is with the wind. The wind's blowing here and the boat's here. I'd say it's current, but that's a really shallow fish. That fish is up in 5-6 feet of water. That's another white bass. Might be on the white bass. Just hammered it up shallow though. Got some kayakers behind me. I'm gonna have to cast around them. I guess I took their lane here. Hello.
Fishing good.
Not too bad here. How's the kayak going? Good?
We're catching fish too.
Oh, good. Perfect.
Northern, so far.
A northern?
Yeah.
Kayak trolling, huh? Got a fish on?
Got a fish on.
All right.
Careful, it doesn't come in our eye.
I'm guessing it's a white bass.
Oh yeah, we got a fish. Walleye. Okay.
Walleye? Look at that, it is a walleye.
It is a walleye. Okay, we gotta go take it to our boat, our real boat.
Okay. That's awesome. Well, there's walleyes here. The kayakers caught them. Kayak trolling a crankbait. It's freaking awesome. If they bite a crankbait, will they bite a jigging shadow rap? They caught that walleye up shallow. I'm guessing 6, 7, 8 feet. That's rather heavy. Unless it's hooked funny. Come on, baby. Get over here in the camera. It always happens right after I turn the camera off, just to save battery. Battery and hard drive space. Hot commodities for me. Loosen up the drag here, geez. Good job, Fox River. Holy cow. Holy cow, Batman. Ooh, big Walter. Big Walter. Oh, he's barely hooked. He's so lightly hooked. That fish was way shallow. Look at that. Jigging shadow rap walleye. 'Tis working. Back in the lake he goes. Well, that one crushed it good. Way up shallow. Only popped it like 2 or 3 times in like 5 feet of water. There's still shallow fish, y'all. And like I was saying, that reel came in handy. He slacked it up and I felt him take it on the way down. Set the hook and there was a lot of slack. And this reel catches up to him real good. Can we find another one up there? Yep. Hit it on the fall again. Right as it hit bottom. That is too cool. I love it when they bite it on the drop like that and you can feel it just like a jig bite. Perfect. Perfect. And he pinned it too, right on the bottom. The old chin pin. Sweet. It's interesting how we're seeing fish on these other spots like 15 to 20 feet. And then you come in here, there's some wind pushing into a sand flat. It's a little bit of dirty water. And you get these fish up in 5, 6 feet of water. Which is where it's not uncommon for us to catch them in 5, 6 feet of water this time of year, but it's just been such a funny season as fast as things heated up, you know? So it hasn't been that way as much as I would have thought, or anybody would have thought, especially with ice out being May 9th. So it's just been weird, but I'll take a shallow bite any day I can get it. Oh. Destruction. God, I love that. Be a nicer fish, will you? Sorry I'm in your way. He's gonna come out here, I guess. No, now he's going over here. Line's wrapped around him a little bit. Coming in funny. What is he? I think it's a walleye. How big is it? Is it a side hook walleye? Yeah, way foul hooked. Way foul hooked walleye. Hard to pull him in this way. It's a nice fish. That is not a fish you can keep. You need at least one hook in front of one of the gill plates. Yeah. Right up there tight to the bank. I wonder if it's hooked funny again or if it's got it in the mouth. Well, that's a legit fish there. It's in the mouth. Rock on. I'm so happy that I got a snap jigging lure that I think my clients are gonna love to use, and I think you're gonna love to use it too. Jigging wraps are fun. The shadow wrap might be more fun because you're not as tired at the end of the day. As long as you have a fairly shallow water snap jigging bite, this works like a charm. So yeah, that's it. That's my first experience with jigging shadow wraps, and they work a lot like a regular jigging wrap, just a little lighter, not as much of an arm buster, probably better for slightly shallower water. Something less than 20 feet would be my guess. You can vertical jig them in deeper water, I would guess, but pitching them might be a little tougher. They just don't fall down fast enough. But nevertheless, if you did find this video helpful, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button. Maybe subscribe to the channel. Maybe consider Patreon if you're super generous and you want to help out everything that we're doing here. Oh, and if you want 15% off a Pissy Fun Reel, remember, use the code on the screen. If you want 10% off the Fox River rod, BF10 is your code for that. And you could have this exact combo with a jigging shadow wrap at a little bit of a discount, and at the same time help me out with my channel a little bit as an affiliate. Otherwise, we'll be back with more videos all fishing season long. Later, fisher people.